Hey Stitchers, your girl Kris here. Welcome or welcome back to my channel on social, where it's totally cool to be obsessed with sewing. So for today's video, we're going to have a little chit chat about one of my newest makes. But just before we get into it, you guys, we have made it into May. This is month 5 of 2024, and I am so thankful to God to be able to wake up in a new month. Now, the past couple of months have been wild. I think that's the best descriptor I can come up with right now. Have been really wild, have been really challenging mentally for me, physically, spiritually, emotionally, all of that jazz. And I am so thankful to be stepping into a new month. Now, I'm praying that this month will bring more positivity and more peace of mind for me. And I'm hoping that my sewing journey will help to create a relaxed and peaceful environment. I don't know about you guys, but for me, sewing is my therapy. I'm telling you, it has healing properties that I cannot even begin to explain. Now, obviously, conventional therapy is also helpful. Ask me how I know. But sewing, you guys, sewing. I cannot tell you how many times sewing has helped me to get through varying different challenges in my life, and I'm just thankful that I discovered my sewing machine 6 years ago. So shout out to my friend Erasmus. Hey, if you're watching this video, thank you for encouraging me to give sewing a shot. Now that all that emotional stuff is out of the way, let's get into today's video. And for today's video, we're going to be reviewing this make right here. So folks, this is one of the newest additions to my wardrobe. I made this top using this pattern right here. It is Butterick 6943, and I recently picked up this pattern as well as these fabrics on a trip that I made to Barbados. Now, I had to go to Barbados for medical reasons, and I was able to meet up with 2 people who I have become friends with in the sewing community. I was able to put a face to a face and to grab some great fabrics and have just a good time with other people who are like-minded, and it really was amazing. And so this is my first project that I sewed up once I returned home. Again, it is Butterick 6943. Now, I think this pattern is a 2023 pattern. In fact, I know it is a 2023 pattern because it's on the pattern envelope right here. But I had previously overlooked this pattern. Now, I feel like Butterick does not get much hype in the sewing community. Like amongst the big 5, like sub pattern companies, if that makes sense, I feel like Butterick is the most underrated of the lot. So I was happy to be able to put my own spin on this pattern. Now, my pattern envelope comes in sizes 18 to 26, and that is for a bust of, let's double check, 18, 40 inches up to 48 inches, and a waist of 32 inches up to 41 inches, and a hip of 40 inches up to 50 inches. Now, this pattern does have a smaller envelope from 8 to 16, and I'm not quite sure if there's a different number for like the plus size envelope. In fact, I'm going to have to go and do some research, and if I find a pattern envelope for this pattern but in the woman's range, then I'll be sure to go ahead and leave it in the description box down below. Now, I made up view A of this pattern because it is so hot here. I didn't really feel like making a long sleeve, and because of the combination of colors, I doubt that this will be a top that I could wear to work, and so I opted for the short sleeve version. Now, I had recently come across this shirt over on Pinterest that sort of inspired this make, in the sense that it was a color blocked striped shirt, but they used blue, green, and orange, and I decided to use green, blue, and pink. This is because orange is not one of my colors and pink is one of my colors, and so when I saw that this fabric came in pink, I was quick to snatch it up to pair with my green and my blue. I felt like, you guys, this pattern had some interesting details and seam lines. So it is a princess seamed shirt in the front. So you can see the princess seam runs right here. And then of course, our side front is split into 2 parts. And the same goes for the back. There is a princess seam down the back, and your side back is also split into 2 parts. Now there's also some gathering detail from the back shoulder right the way around to the front shoulder. And I really like that detail, you guys. And I think that was part of the reason that I was drawn to this pattern. Now, in terms of my color blocking, I decided to use green for the centermost portions of my pattern, and then to pair it with the blue at the top, and then to trim it with the pink. Now, hubby is of the opinion that I got my colors all mixed up, and I probably should have put the blue at center front and then put the green at the side front. It's too late now. I don't know if that in fact would have looked better. I'm fairly pleased with how this looks as is, but who knows, maybe he is right. I don't know, and at this point, it's a little too late for me to care. Now, I traced off a size 18 in this pattern right the way around, and I did make just a few fit adjustments. Those are what I regard as some of my typical fit adjustments. So I went ahead and did a 1/2 inch sloping shoulder adjustment, which changes the slope of your shoulder seam. Now, I have very sloped shoulders courtesy of bad posture, and this is a change I usually make to my patterns. So I did it on both the center front piece and the side front piece, and the same thing on the back. And I also lowered the arm side correspondingly. So I took off 1/2 inch at my shoulder and lowered the arm side by the corresponding 1/2 inch. Now I also did a 1/4 inch sway back adjustment in the back of my pattern right along the center back. So I had to adjust the center back piece and the side back pieces. And I also removed a 1/4 inch in length between my shoulder and my bust line just on my front pieces only. I also have forward rotated shoulders, and I have found that making this slight adjustment stops my shirt from sort of pulling to the back and sort of strangling me. Now, I discovered this by trial and error. It works for me. It's probably not what is mandated by any book, but as I said, this has been a lifesaver in terms of my fitting. Now, I did skip the full bust adjustment in this pattern, even though it was a princess seam bodice, and so a full bust adjustment would have been fairly easy for me to do. When I looked at my finished garment measurements and given the style lines of this particular top, I thought I could get away without the full bust adjustment. And when I tried my shirt on, I was pretty pleased with how it fit around the boobs. Now, I did also shorten my shirt by 2 inches, you guys, and I shortened it below the waist. Now, on reflection, I'm thinking that maybe I shouldn't have shortened it, or if I shortened it, maybe I should have only shortened it by 1 inch, because where it hits on me now, I have thoughts, you guys, and those thoughts are telling me that perhaps a little longer length would have been better. But when I try it on, I will give you guys a chance to assess it yourselves, and you can let me know in the comment section down below whether you think the proportions are good as they are, or whether I should have left my shirt just a little bit longer. Now, I think those are the only adjustments I made to this pattern, and I am fairly happy with this make. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I will probably give this shirt a ranking of about a 6 or a 7. And that's mainly because I didn't really enjoy how this fabric sewed up. Now, I like the fact that this fabric came in several different colors, but I feel like the quality of the fabric leaves a little to be desired. Like, it just doesn't look very high end to me. And perhaps if I had made this in maybe a cotton poplin or something like that, I would have been happier with the outcome of the fabric. No, hubby says that it just needs a good press, and perhaps he's right. Maybe I can convince him to starch it and press it for me, but we will see if that changes anything in the grand scheme of things. Now, I did go ahead and get 1 yard of each of the colors, and I had more than enough to bring this vision to life. I have a little bit left over in each color, and perhaps there will be enough for me to knock out maybe a shirt or a top or something for mini me, but we will see. I make no promises, and Nyla, if you're watching this, mommy promises you nothing. We'll see how it works out. Now, I decided to go ahead and use pink buttons for the closure down my center front. Now, I just thought that it picked up nicely with the trim at the shoulder cuff and with the side panels. And I think these are the buttons that I had closest to any of these colors on this shirt, and so I went with it. I probably could have used white buttons, and I think I do have white buttons or maybe clear buttons, but I'm overall happy with how the pink ties the entire garment together. Now that I have shown you what it looks like on Christina, my dress form, I'm just going to go ahead and pop it on over my vest that I'm wearing so that you guys can see what it looks like on. I have not yet photographed this make at the time of recording this video. Maybe before I publish this video, I will have a chance to photograph this make. If I do, I'll be sure to go ahead and pop in pictures and twirls so that you can assess. But for now, I'll try it on so that you guys can see what it looks like on the body. All right, you guys, this is what it looks like on. I'll just turn to the back so that you can see. What do you guys think of this make? Now, I also didn't mention that this fabric is quite stiff. It doesn't have any drape, and that is expected from a cotton fabric. And I feel like because this has like this grown on sleeve sort of situation, the sleeve sort of comes out of the side panel in a very interesting way. And I just feel like if it was a drapier fabric, it probably would have collapsed much nicer over the boob and under the arm. But aside from that, I feel like I can make this top work. So, what do you guys think? 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 So this is what it looks like on. Now at the side, it does have quite a steep, like high-low effect. And this was not fun at all to hem. I think I did a pretty good job and it's sitting quite flat. And I achieved this by using my serger thread as a guide to do a narrow hem. Now I have a narrow hem foot, you guys, but I have absolutely no success in using it. It's something that I'm going to have to sit down and really tuck into in order to master the art of the narrow hem foot. In any event, the instructions did not have you use a narrow hem foot. They did just have you to do a double turned hem using the 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, and that's exactly what I did. Now, aside from the hem, I also found finishing the collar portion of this blouse to be a headache. Butterick has a tendency to do this with their collar patterns. And I say this because it was the same sort of finish I had on my Butterick 50/30 wrap dress, and I hated it. So you have to go ahead and cut 2 of your neckband pieces and attach your neckband to your main shirt first, and then go ahead and attach your facing. As you can imagine, because of the curve and you're trying to fit the neckband into your bodice back neckline, it can become a little bit of a challenge. And be sure to go ahead and clip your curves as much as is possible. Now, you don't want to clip through your stitching line, so keep your eyes on that, but you do want to clip it just to relax your neckline and make it a little easier to attach your back neckband piece and then your facing piece. I close my facing using hand stitching. I do prefer machine stitching generally over hand stitching, but when it comes to collars like this, I feel like when I hand stitch, I get a much neater finish on my makes. Now I also finished the inside of this make using white serger thread, nothing fancy. Perhaps I could have gone ahead and used French seams, but I was a little bit weary because of all of these curves in this make, and I thought that using my serger would give for a flatter seam finish and hence a flatter finished product. Now, when I style this make, I'm probably going to wear it with jeans. I'm contemplating wearing it with straight leg jeans instead of like skinny leg jeans, and perhaps with some heels or maybe even my sneakers, depending on where I'm going. But I just feel like this is a fun and very unique shirt, and it is one of the reasons I really love sewing. I like to be able to put my own little spin on patterns. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of my completed shirt. Do you like the color combinations? Do you think I should have switched my color combinations around? Do you think I should have left it longer or perhaps even made it shorter? How do you guys think I should style it? Go ahead and leave all your input in the comment box down below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you have gotten this far in my video and you're not yet a subscriber, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn your notification bell on so you never miss any of my upcoming videos. I did forget to mention at the start of this video that I did share these fabrics amongst many, many, many other fabrics in my latest fabric haul from Barbados. If it's not yet up on the channel, keep your eyes peeled for that one. It will be coming at you very, very soon. So if you're curious about all the goodies that I managed to pick up at Abed's Barbados, be sure to go ahead and turn your notifications on. As I said, if it's not yet on this channel, then it will be coming at you really, really soon. So that is all I wanted to share with you guys today. Thank you so much for spending time with me from week to week to week. I really appreciate your presence here on my channel. And until next time, stay calm, stay cool, stay safe, and go on and keep sewing. Peace.